Slide on into another edition of the Sports Ball Moment with Eddie Winters and Barry the Stallion Streib.
There it is. We are here. It's the rock and roll coup d'etat. We've got Barry. Barry the Stallion, how are you, baby?
Oh, my God, it's like taking candy from a baby.
It is. The bird is the word, baby. How are you? You were just down in Miami to see it firsthand. How was the display?
Well, I was. I had a road trip. I had a plane ticket. It was like an hour one way, and I called back and it was full. So I put the top down with my wife, and we drove down about 3.5 hours. Caught a little sun on the way.
Nice.
And then we got 2 tickets on the 50-yard line.
Wow.
Front row. Where Justin Tucker shook my hand, baby.
2 tickets to paradise. Oh my gosh! Wow. So obviously the Ravens took down the Miami Dolphins. What was the moment there in that matchup that you were like, this is gonna be it? It is like taking candy from a baby.
The key was the wind in that stadium. When they were falling down 10-0, they were kicking the ball out of the end zone, and we couldn't get any field position, and we're going back and trying to run the ball, and they were stuffing the line of scrimmage. So we had to play very conservative until we got the win, and then Flacco threw the interception down 10-0. But they could have picked up 14-0. We held them down there inside the 10, and then we started running the ball and started throwing the ball, and Flacco started being Joe Flacco, baby, and it was like taking candy from a baby.
Exactly.
We just stuffed the line of scrimmage. Suggs and Doomerville have gotten more sacks than anybody. They're rushing the passer. I want New England so bad I can taste it. I'm going to tell you right now. Atlanta is probably going to beat the Steelers next week in Atlanta because they're vulnerable on the artificial surface against the pass.
Right.
And they have no secondary. Look for probably Atlanta to get buried tonight on the grass outdoors in Green Bay. But look for them to win against the Steelers. And on blistering fire, the Cleveland Clowns. The Dome team going outside to the grass. As bad as Warrior played, they only lost by 1. Covered the spread. You know they can't play outdoors. It's like they should have brought Manziel in, but we'll probably see him at the end of the year. But they're going to beat Cincinnati this week, so everything's relative. We're locked to make the playoffs, baby. What time is it? Daytime.
That is correct. Oh my gosh, the Stallion. You know, we had some friends. We had some friends visiting from Baltimore, a touring band, the J. Roddy Walston and the Business. They've been all over the place. They were on David Letterman. They've been on the Conan O'Brien. They stopped off, missed you. They were looking to give you a high five in St. Petersburg, Florida, down at the Brass Monkey, and they missed you because you were down in Miami on the streets watching the win. But they had a question. They tasted a bite of your crab cake, and they said Eddie, you got to find out, how does he make such a gorgeous crab cake all the way down in Florida? How does it? How do you do it? What's your secret? Can you share us a little bit?
I do more crab cake meat than anybody on the west coast of Florida being 150 feet restaurants. You know why? It's called all killer and no filler. So you don't put onions, chilies, and peppers in crab cake. As soon as you see the word style, you run like a rabbit. It's either a crab cake or it's not.
That is right.
And my shrimp is bigger than their legs.
I love it.
We got the program, baby. We'll take you to the promised land. I'm telling you, the Ravens are in the playoff hunt. They'll probably end up 10-6 or 11-5. I'm worried about Houston a little bit with J.J. Watt, how to get around him. But we're going to sweep the card. It's like taking candy from a baby, and then all of a sudden, I want New England. I can beat New England in New England. You know what shirt I have on right now?
What's that?
It says Kings of the AFC.
There
the
it
last
is.
AFC team to win the Super Bowl was the Ravens.
Right. And it's going to be. We've got one more question from our friend Steve in Baltimore. He wanted to know, and there's an Orioles-related question because I don't know if you've heard the news, but Dan Duquette is rumored to be the top candidate for the Toronto Blue Jays' next CEO. Should the team force him to stay for the 3 years left on his contract or try and get a package of picks and players from Toronto? What's your take on that, by the way?
No, they need him they need him more than anything. He is like a player. He's the one that's turned this franchise around. One of my best friends, Sam Palazzo, used to be the ex-manager of the Orioles, said that Angelos didn't like to go through the farm system, didn't want to hire anybody, wanted to veto and everything. Keep his nose out of like David Snyder. So finally, when they hired the scouting system and put Duquette in there, everything is relative, and everything falls in according to you fall right where you're supposed to be. Listen, getting rid of Nelson Cruz, Markakis has a bulging disc. You can't give him 4 years. His speed was declining, even though he's a Gold Glover.
Right.
Listen, you have to do it like the Rays do. You can't be spending $85 billion on a guy who's only going to be a DH.
Right.
What they have to do is get Delman Young signed.
And then that's when things start to really to shake things up, and we have a team that will continue to the promised land, baby. I mean, that's basically
Absolutely. They should have never let Andre Miller go to the Yankees. So that is very disheartening. They should have hired him because he was the most unhittable relief pitcher, setup man in all of baseball, and they let him go to the Yankees. That's one thing they messed up on. So they'll be okay, though. You have to stick to the program.
Right.
They know better than we do. You can't give Nelson Cruz 4 years. You don't know what he's going to do. He's only going to be a DH. He can't play left field in 4 years. He'll be like 80 years old.
Right. And hopefully, on the football side of things, the Ravens will get us there. And we got next week. We're going up against the Jaguars. Any your predictions is that we're going to play along and we're going to go ahead and stomp those guys. What's your take on next week?
Well, since I'm on blistering fire, I predict that the Ravens will probably win by 1 million.
I love it. If that's what the crystal ball is saying, I'm putting my money on that. That is for
Just
sure.
Lay the lumber. That's all you got to do.
Well, Stallion, we're going to check in with you next week. As always, we always appreciate your insights, and we wish you the best and safe travels back to St. Petersburg. And you know what? I can't wait. We're going to hopefully we'll rendezvous down at the Brass Monkey. Hopefully in the future. I can't wait.
I just stopped off at Naples to have a little lunch overlooking the yachts right now.
Oh, yes.
So I'm not drinking the Bloody Mary. I took a little fresh squeezed orange juice instead.
I like it. But when in Naples, let's get the juice. I love it. Stallion, as always, baby. You take care, and we will see you on the way to the Promised Land next week.
All right, take them to the Promised Land, baby. Bingo.
You got it. Oh, there it is.
This has been the Sports Ball Moment with Eddie Winters and Barry the Stallion Streib.
Holy smokes.